Welcome to this SciDocs instructional video on how to automatically install and deploy Solaris on Intel in the cloud. This video assumes that you already have a user account at SciDocs, so if you don't already have one, you may want to view the instructional video titled How to Create a New User Account at SciDocs. This video is available from the SciDocs knowledge base under the category of instructional videos. You can get to the knowledge base from the SciDocs website by going to Support and Knowledge Base. The first step will be to go to open a browser window and point the browser to scidocs.com, which I will do here. You will see the SciDocs homepage, and in the upper right hand corner of that page you'll see a link labeled Account. If you press this link, it will display a pull down menu, and in this menu press Login. A login screen will be displayed where you will enter your email address and password associated with your user account at SciDocs. I have a demo user account set up that I will use for the purpose of this video, so I will enter video at scidocs.com and then the password associated with that. And you would of course enter your own email address and password and then press the login button. The account home screen will be displayed where you can view several different types of information, including the number of active services you have, any invoices that are due, and the number of open tickets you may have. Since this demo account is a new account, there will not be any active services, invoices due, or open tickets. From here, to automatically install and deploy a Solaris on Intel VM, go to the main menu bar and select Hosting, and from here select Solaris VMs. A screen will be displayed with several options for ordering a Solaris VM. The first two options are for Solaris on Spark, and then the second two options are for Solaris on Intel. So the third option in the list or on the page is for ordering a one-time short-term Solaris on Intel VM, and the fourth option is for ordering Solaris on Intel VMs on a monthly basis. The difference between these two options is that the one-time short-term option allows you to lease by the day, week, or up to a month at a time, whereas the monthly option allows you to lease by the month and then reoccurs each month. The one-time short-term option does not automatically reoccur when the lease expires. You must manually extend and renew the lease, whereas the monthly reoccurring option does automatically renew each month. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to order a one-time short-term Solaris on Intel VM, so I will press the Order Now button associated with that option. This will display the product configuration screen, which shows the configurable options for a Solaris on Intel VM. The first option allows you to configure the amount of time you want to lease the Solaris on Intel VM. From the pull-down list, you can see you can lease by a number of days, weeks, or up to a month. I will choose the 1 day option for the purpose of this video. The next option is the operating system version, and from the pull down list you see Solaris 11 or 10. The default option is Solaris 11, and that's what I will choose. You can pick the number of processors that you want. You can select the amount of memory that you want for your VM, and finally you can pick the amount of storage that you want for your VM. Now once you've finished selecting your configurable options, then you can press the Add to Cart button to add this order to your shopping cart. This will display the order summary screen where it will show your new order that you just placed and the options that you selected. You can verify that your order is correct and then edit or remove that if it is incorrect. From this screen, you can also continue shopping by pressing this button, and that will allow you to add additional products and services to your shopping cart before you check out. For the purpose of the video, I will just press the checkout button to continue with the order and for this one single item in the shopping cart. And that will display the checkout screen where you can finalize your order. This screen is going to show you all the items that you are ordering, and in this instance it's just the one single item, and it's going to show us the details associated with the user placing the order. It's going to show us the payment methods configured by the user when they set up their user account, and then we can add any additional notes or instructions for the setup of our Solaris on Intel VM. And then we need to check the checkbox associated with the statement that says, "I have read and agree to the terms of service." After that, we can press the complete order button to finalize the order and begin the build out process of our newly ordered Solaris on Intel VM. This will display the order confirmation screen, and our order is displayed here. Our order number is displayed here. From this screen, we can view the new service we just ordered by going to the account menu bar, select services, and then my services. This will display a screen showing your products and services that you have ordered at Sidox. Since the demo user account was a new account, it will only have the one service we just ordered, the Solaris on Intel VM. We can see that this Solaris VM is in a pending state, which means that it is in the process of being built out. So it usually takes 10 to 15 minutes to create and configure the Solaris on Intel VM. So I will pause the video while that takes place, and I will resume once the build out is complete. I am resuming the video now. The Solaris on Intel build out is complete. The server is now active and ready for user access. However, we still see this screen showing the Solaris on Intel VM in a pending state. So I will refresh the screen to update that status. And we now show that the Solaris VM is in an active state. So the next question is, how do I access this new Solaris on Intel VM that was just built? How do I connect to it? Well, during the build out process of the Solaris VM, you would have been sent an email to inform you that a support ticket was generated that contains your connection information. The email contains a direct link to a support ticket at Sidox, so you can check your email, click on the link in that email, and then access the support ticket that contains your connection information. So you could do that through your email, or you could just log into your Sidox account and go directly to your support tickets. So you can go to your support tickets by going to the account menu bar and going to support and tickets, and there you will see your list of support tickets. In this instance, you'll just see the one Solaris 11 on Intel system connection information, and that contains our connection information on how to connect to that VM. But before we look at that, let's go look at the details of the VM that was just built. So to view the details, let's go back to the account menu bar, select services and my services, and it will take us back where we were. We show our list of products and services. Here's our Solaris on Intel VM in an active state. Let's look at the details, so we'll click the View Details button. And that displays the details of our Solaris on Intel VM. and from here you can see information such as the host name. You can see the amount of time for which it was leased. In this case we selected 1 day. We can see the operating system that was chosen, the number of processors, the amount of memory, and the amount of storage that was selected. And if you look a little further down, you can see the expire date and the terminate date of this Solaris VM. The expire date is the date and time of when the lease will expire on this VM. At this date and time, the Solaris VM will be suspended, but it's not going to be removed. Everything on the VM will still exist, but it will be inaccessible after the expire date and time. The terminate date is the date and time of when the VM will be deleted and removed. So after the terminate date, the Solaris on Intel VM will not be recoverable. Now the web interface will allow you to add time to an active lease by extending the lease. So you can extend or add time to the lease up to and until this expire date and time. Now, however, that procedure to extend the VM lease is covered in a different video, so you'll need to look at the list of instructional videos in the SciDocs knowledge base to view that video. But be aware that within this View Details screen there is a function called Extend Server Lease, and from here you can add time to your lease in days, weeks, or up to a month of time, and then press the Extend Server Lease option. But before you can extend the lease, it must be an active lease and it must be prior to the expire date and time. After the expire date and time, you have to use the Renew function, which that only appears in the View Details screen between the expire date, after the expire date, and before the terminate date. So again, the Renew function, like the extend function, is covered in a different video, so you'll need to see the SciDocs knowledge base for that video. Now finally, let's go to the connection information. So let's go to the account menu bar and we will select support and tickets and view our connection information support ticket. So here's our list of support tickets, and we see the one single support ticket for our Solaris 11 on Intel, and we see it contains our connection information. So I'll click on this ticket, we'll view that ticket, and in the support ticket you'll see your connection information. It tells you the host name, the firewall connection port, it gives you a randomly generated username and a randomly generated password. And it also shows you an example of an SSH command that you can use to connect to your Solaris on Intel VM. Now be aware that the only firewall port that is opened for your Solaris VM is the SSH port. So you will have to use an SSH tool to connect to your Solaris VM. You can use the SSH command as shown here in the support ticket, or you can also use PuTTY or some other SSH tool. So to review how to get to the connection information, we can get to the connection information by going to the account menu bar and pressing support and tickets as we just did, and that shows us our support tickets, and here's our connection information. Or we can go to services and my services and select our VM from the list of products and services. In this instance there's only the one, and we could look at the details of that VM and look for the connection information link. There's a connection information link in the details, and that will take you to the support ticket. So that is it on how to automatically install and deploy a Solaris on Intel VM in the cloud. If you would like additional information on the various products and services provided by SciDocs, you can go to scidocs.com and view the knowledge base. In the knowledge base, there are lots of instructional videos that describe how to perform all of the features and functions associated with automated deployment of a wide variety of systems into the cloud. There's also a list of services provided by SciDocs in the knowledge base, and there are lots of how-to articles there as well. That is the end of this video. Thank you for listening and watching.